Hey everyone, it is Sarah Lucas, your Director of Field Education here at Align. And I just wanted to talk to you for a little bit about how to use key ingredients when sharing products. So sometimes we want to share all the things we know all the time, right? Sometimes we need to take a little step back and read who we're talking to, read the room, right? We've said that, we've heard that, we've seen that. It's appropriate and just the same as when you're sharing products. So we're going to format this as a little do's and don'ts. So the first thing I want to remind you to use your product intel sheets, right? We have them for all of our products. More are on the way as more products are launched. We have the ambassador version that has some sales tips on it. And we have the customer version, which has no sales tips on it, but has more usage tips, why it's good for you, why you should use it, that kind of thing. Those are all in the ambassador resource drive. Those customer versions, you are absolutely 1000% welcome to share with your customers. You just don't want to put that on your social media and have that be the only thing that you ever say about that product. A lot of times, customers aren't going to read this whole wall of text, right? No, they're not going to. It's hard when it's in your store. They have to hold the button, all the things. They're not going to. So take some tidbits from that product intel sheet and share those. We also have some good social media images for you to use on various products. And of course, you're welcome to make your own. The best one includes your face. So when we're talking about overall products and key ingredients, you don't want to read ingredients to someone like it's a cookbook. That's very boring, right? Even when you know all the things about all the things, you don't want to read them all. Like, there's very few people who find that interesting. I'm like the only one. And I know a couple of you are like, me too. And that's great. And you're my people. However, we must acknowledge there's not a lot of us out there in the world, right? We need to tell them why those things are awesome and what they do for them, for that to really make that connection. And honestly, we're that way too. We just really appreciate the science behind it as well. So don't read all of the ingredients like it's a cookbook. Don't read all of the advantages and benefits to them like a cookbook as well. You do want to sprinkle those things in your conversations that you're having with people, whether those are face-to-face conversations, whether they are via messenger, or however you're chatting with someone. You want to sprinkle in those products and that product information and those ingredients and fab features, advantages, and benefits, using that technique to really connect all the dots and have a very natural flowing conversation. That being said, you don't want to use all of them in one conversation. That can sounds more like a science lesson than a conversation, right? We value the relationship with people that we're building. We value the person. We want to solve the problems that they're having with their skin. We want to make sure that we're recommending the right product for them. And just because we all think that Soothe, for example, is amazeballs, because it is, there's going to be a few people who don't like it. And that's okay. Like, nothing is great for every single person, right? The world is just too big, and we're okay with that. But that's when you have that conversation of what they're looking for, what problems they're looking to solve, what issues they're having, what they don't like about their current product, anything that can help you really connect the dots from what they need to what we have, right? So the other part of that is do practice. I know that feels silly and I know it feels awkward, but get that silly and awkward out when you're talking to your dog or talking to yourself while you're taking a walk or to your kid or whomever, right? They don't care. You told them to use Soothe. They do, right? That's how it is in my house. So practice with them what you'd say to other people so it's not so scary. So you kind of get those bumps and awkwardness out of the way. And guess what? We're all a little awkward in real life. And so that's okay. Your customer does not expect you to be perfect. They don't. But while we're talking about Soothe, we are going to talk a little bit about Soothe. Okay, give you a little product intel with this. So, and as I'm talking about it, these are kind of the steps and the things that you can say when you are sharing with a customer. So kind of use this as a product information slash modeling session, not like catwalk model, although my ponytail is rocking today, I will say, but your model for what you can say. And of course, we want it to sound like you. I'm a Dorkosaurus Rex. We all know that. So you don't have to sound like me. I want you to sound like you. And I want Darlene to sound like Darlene. And I want Beth to sound like Beth. And everyone to sound like themselves. That's the best way to be genuine and authentic and to really make a great connection with your customer without seeming like you're a salesperson, because that's what we're trying to avoid, right? Right. Okay. So Soothe. And I'm going to use the product intel sheet because there's a lot of stuff and I don't have it all in my head. And that's my other thing for you. You don't have to memorize it all. It's okay. Pick a couple of key ingredients that are your favorite and talk about those. On our intel sheet, there are so many listed. Honestly, we could have listed like all of the ingredients. There's just not space for that. But also, we don't want you to feel like you need to memorize this like it's a history textbook in high school. It's not. This is for reference and for you to take what you need and apply it in the world. So the first one we're going to talk about is glycerin. Now, I know glycerin, and I say that, and then glycerin's not a key ingredient, but we talked about it in the what it does section. Glycerin is a super duper moisturizer. Glycerin draws moisture to it. So there's moisture out in the air. We all know humidity, and glycerin helps draw that moisture to you. So that's fabulous. Also, glycerin, because of the way that it's concocted in the world, it is bouncy. Got a little spring in its step. It's like a new puppy going after a toy. So that fabulous whipped consistency, that for as heavy duty of a moisturizer as that is, doesn't feel heavy duty. And that's because of the glycerin. So when someone says, I don't like moisturizers because they just feel so heavy and that my skin can't breathe, it's like, oh, ours has glycerin in it, which makes it super powerful, but also super lightweight. See, incorporated an ingredient and why it's cool into a regular old sentence. And it's not combative. It's not being defensive. It's just stating a fact, right? Can't go wrong with the truth. Also, pro tip while I'm here, I always, when I go to put my moisturizer on my face, I always start with some on the back of my hand. Why? Because the backs of your hands show your age. Whew. So I always end up with a little bit left over. I just rub it in. It's fabulous. Also, I start from the inside and work out when I put moisturizer on. Now, this probably wasn't the best idea, given the fact I have some powder on, but whatevs. Anywho, upward, outward with those. Also, we want to talk about sodium hyaluronate. So you've probably heard hyaluronic acid. It's on every commercial ever. Sodium hyaluronate is the better, cooler version of hyaluronic acid. It absorbs into your skin better, so it's more effective. Hyaluronic acid and its sister, what's in here, sodium hyaluronate, what it does is it gets into your skin, soaks right in, and then it kind of pushes those wrinkles and fine lines out from the inside, right? So if my sweatshirt was all wrinkly and I couldn't get it situated, I'd kind of push it, straighten it out from the inside, right? Sodium hyaluronate works the same way on your fine lines and wrinkles. Pretty cool, right? It has so many vitamins. Soothe, like, it has the alphabet's worth of ingredients, pretty much. It has vitamin A and B and C and D and K and omegas. Oh my gosh. If you ask someone what vitamins they take on a regular basis, chances are highly likely it's in Soothe as well, which is amazing. Like, if it's good for your insides, it's absolutely good for your outsides. So all of those, lots of good antioxidants. Antioxidants help protect your skin from the world. They help your skin do its job better, which is protecting your insides, but also it helps protect from those visible signs of aging. UV rays are, we all know, the sun is not our friend in terms of our skin. So antioxidants help kind of repair some of that damage. It's definitely not a sunscreen, so don't think that that's what I'm saying, but it helps repair the damage that those UV and pollution and junk does to your skin. That's what antioxidants do. So, where vitamins, when you take them internally, those designed for that use, help make your organs strong, your bones strong, your skin strong, everything strong, right? That's why we take vitamins. Antioxidants applied topically do the same thing. So, fabulous. And then my favorite. You may have heard me talk about these before. It's cloudberry and acerola. And acerola is just fun to say. Say it with me. Ready? Acerola. They're my favorite. They're so cool. They're just the coolest ingredients. So if people want botanicals in their products, these are two of the coolest, most awesome plant extracts really out there. And not a lot of companies are using them. So, I mean, we're cool. We knew that, right? But so cloudberry lives in the Arctic. So harsh, cold, yucky, windy, blah, sub-zero temperatures, right? Gross. And acerola lives in the tropics. So hot, humid, super hot, even more humid. Also, gross. I am such a moderate climate kind of gal. But those two extreme environments, the extreme cold, the extreme hot, those plants, cloudberry and acerola, have over time evolved to be these little powerhouses because they have to keep themselves alive, right? Like you can't just keep growing cloudberries if they're not figuring out how to grow in that very extreme environment. So they've got tons of vitamins in there, all the antioxidants that I talked about. And so they're just super duper concentrated because the cloudberry is tiny, like a pea. So they're tiny and they have all of this stuff just packed in. Cloudberry also, oh, sorry. Cloudberry also has the omega fatty acids, which helps your skin protect itself, but that's also just super hydrating, super great for skin texture, skin firmness. Those omegas, omega-3, omega-6 fatty acids. Acerola has all those antioxidants living in the tropics, but acerola also has a ton of vitamin C. And what is vitamin C good for? Well, if you haven't heard, vitamin C is great for anywhere that you might have some hyperpigmentation. It's great for brightening your overall skin tone and complexion. And again, and it's just a super duper awesome antioxidant. So how do you roll that all in when you're talking with the customer? So if they say, I need something, but I don't know what. Then you can say, okay, well, like, what are you using currently? What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? And kind of go from there. If they say they like the consistency of it, then you say, great, here, try a little bit of our Soothe. See if you like that consistency as well. If they say, I don't like the consistency, same Z's. Say, here, try a little bit of ours. See if you like it. It has glycerin in it, makes it super bouncy, super lightweight, but yet super hydrating. If they ask them, say something to the effect of that they don't feel like their moisturizer is doing enough moisturization, then that's when you can talk about the sodium hydrolurate, the sunflower seed oil, the glycerin, and then what I haven't even talked about are the three like xylitol sisters, as I call them. There's 3 versions of xylitol in Soothe, and that just is an amazing hydration station. Like, can't be beat. If they say, ooh, my skin is oily, I run so oily, I never use a moisturizer. That's when you say, well, did you know that your skin actually needs to be told how to calm down by putting on good moisture? If you give your skin enough good moisture, it slows down its production of natural bad moisture. So, for example, if they're like, ooh, I love Clarify, strips all that oil off, which it does, it's great. Then you can say, ooh, but what are you putting on afterwards? If you're using Clarify, you have to use a moisturizer. Absolutely positively no ifs, ands, or buts about it, because regardless of what skin type you have, if you're using Clarify every single day and not putting a moisturizer on, your skin is not going to be happy. Like, it's going to be happy in the short term, but eventually, no bueno. So if you have dry skin, normal skin, kind of combination skin, you need to replenish that moisture that Clarify helps gently remove, right? You just need to, if you have dry skin, you are already using moisturizer. So this isn't a big switch. But with oily skin, and I run oily. My dad, he's 84, runs super oily. Like, it's just in our genes. Oily. And it took me until I was well past 35, we'll say, to realize that my skin just didn't know what to do because I hadn't told it anything else. Like, it produced a lot of oil, and I was like, all right, it's just what we do. When duh, I should have been giving it some feedback of saying, hey, calm down. Let me give you some good moisture so you don't have to overcompensate and produce bad moisture. And that's what all that excess oil is. And nobody wants that, right? That leads to breakouts, clogged pores, all that stuff, because your skin is producing bad oil. We need to put some good moisture. Sunflower seed oil is a good oil, and put that back on our skin so our skin can even out and can cooperate the way we want it to. So to recap, because I've talked more than I'm supposed to, I'm sure. Don't read off ingredients and features, advantages, and benefits like a cookbook. It's boring. There we go. Do sprinkle those ingredients and what they do and why they're awesome in your normal conversation. Don't use every single ingredient in a conversation. You start to sound a little pushy, and that's when you feel like a salesperson. I almost said car salesperson because that's where my family is right now. They're wonderful people, but you don't want to sound spammy, right? And so do practice. Practice. Practice in the shower, practice in your head. You don't even have to say it out loud. Work through those conversations in your head and get comfortable. Work out those awkwardness. Find the couple of key ingredients that you love and talk about those. Really, if you have 2 or 3 key ingredients that you love, that's all you need. Customers don't need more than that to be convinced that a product is awesome or not. Are there going to be people who are going to read the entire label and ask you a question about every single ingredient? Probably. Are they the typical customer? No. It's probably 1 out of 1,000 people, right? So, and then what do you say? You know what? That's a great question. Let me find out some more info and I'll get back to you. Find out the info. Look on the product intel sheets. Look in our groups and pages. Ask your mentor. And let's see what answer we can find out for you. We're always happy to help. None of those people know? Question mark? Contact support. We can always find out an answer for you. Don't you even worry about it. But most people don't have nearly as many questions as you think. So, all that being said, go get them. You guys can do it. Soothe is an amazing product. Like I said, I run super duper oily. And while this feels like it's a heavier moisturizer and might be too heavy for people, it's not. It was already 85 degrees here in Oklahoma, and Soothe moisturizer acted just right on my face, just as it should. So it's perfect for everyone. Dry, combo, normal, oily. My 14-year-old loves it. Loves it. So even younger skin who doesn't really need a whole lot of like anti-aging properties, but good habits are important to start early. And thankfully my kiddo loves skincare and loves product. So yeah, everybody should try it. If you haven't tried it, what you waiting for? What you waiting for? I really highly recommend that you try Soothe, even if you don't think that a scrubby face wash is great for you, so you haven't tried Clarify yet, definitely try Soothe. And the other thing, lastly, because I promise I'll wrap this up, is that I always recommend that people don't make a complete shift from one product line to the other. That's when your skin gets a little unhappy, right? I think we've all been there at one point in time or another. So if they say, ooh, I already have a face wash that I love, Great. So let's introduce, but I'm almost out of moisturizer. Awesome. Let's try Soothe. Uh, get them using one product, and that way they can gradually make a transition from their old products to their new products. Your skin will be much happier. You'll have much better results. They'll be able to see where a difference is in the way that their skin looks and feels because they're gradually switching over from one product and known results to a new product where they're still kind of experimenting, seeing how they like it, right? So if they're using their existing face wash, add in a new moisturizer. Once they run out of their existing serum, add in and renew. We can make a gradual transition. Not everybody has to buy the Ritual Trio or the Abundance Bundle right off the bat. Just buying one thing at a time as they gently and slowly over time transition to all Align products. I think once you all do it, if I could speak, once y'all do it is what I really wanted to say. Once y'all get your skincare transitioned from your previous products into new products, it'll be way easier to talk to other people about making that transition, about making it slowly, about making it deliberately, and about the great results you're having. So, ready? Let's go. Have a great one, team. We will talk soon. Bye.